Okay, so the entire point of this 10-year anniversary build of the Elephant tank was to get together with people that influenced me in the hobby, or really has helped me along in my way, and I couldn't think of a better guy to come in here and help than my dad.
I don't know where I came into the picture.
I had to invite somebody in here. I didn't do this all on my own.
I'm cheap.
So Mike, welcome back to RC Sparks Studio.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
It's a fun place to be.
And we're going to be working on the tank together today. We've got a special part. We're going to jump ahead, work on some of the suspension, and maybe we might even hear a story from the old days. Who knows? He's pretty old, so he's got a lot of stories.
I know, Flintstone truck.
that was his first RC. Okay, so off camera, before Dad got here, I went through and check out the size of these sprockets on the back. Now, these are 3 pieces. Each one is a sprocket wheel here. We saw earlier, Rookie was showing us that you had to chamfer the edges of these. So as the track went in, this was easily able to fit in there. The teeth could fit in the slots. Each one of these screws had to be turned by hand, as well with a nut on the back side, as well as some Loctite. So 20 on each side, 20 there, 20 on this side, and of course all 4. One of these are a drive sprocket, and of course the other one is the slave sprocket from before. We're going to look at that more afterwards, but here is the part of the suspension we'd like to have a look at today. What do you think, Mike? What are we looking at?
We're looking at the bogie assembly. And this is the shock absorber.
This is a torsion bar setup, it looks like here. From what I understand, Dad, when I did the research on the Ferdinand, the Ferdinand Porsche torsion bar setup, this setup is like this. Instead of having the torsion bars run straight through the hull of the tank, he actually had the torsion bar set up on the outside.
The exterior.
Yeah. Any idea why this might have been?
To make more room on the inside.
Exactly. So they had to have several people on the inside. Just the guys that load the 88 millimeter cannon, there was 2 of them to load up. You know, that's just for the
Plus the shells.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Takes a lot of room.
And the engines that they had in the Ferdinand, right? A gas electric combo. You were saying this is a lot like how a train runs.
It's a gas motor that runs a diesel generator.
Yeah.
And electric motors on the drives.
Yeah, again, this is something that seemed to be, that was new at that time, problematic for the Ferdinand on the field, from what we understand.
A new idea.
Yeah. So, but are they still doing that in trains?
Yes.
Is that what they do now?
Yes, no, that's what they do. Your big diesel engine runs generators, and the motors on the wheels are electric.
Okay.
It gives them a lot better control, more power.
We were wondering about torque, if it had to do with torque, and like turning, so, okay. So, and so when we were talking about, and when I was researching about this whole torsion bar setup, they said it was prone to breaking. They had a lot of suspension issues out there, and thankfully we're building a model. The ARMORTEK model is the biggest model they have at the time of this filming, and so far it has been a Goliath. But I want to have a look at the bogie setup here today, show everybody how we would assemble. There are 6 of these,
yes,
right, as they run in the track roller. And there's going to be 3 for the right-hand assembly, 3 for the left-hand assembly. But interestingly enough, we're going to show them that you don't put all right-hand on one side, on the right side, and all left-hand on the left, do we?
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to have to get into that once we look at the assembly. But let's go ahead and look at step 1. What are we thinking we're going to do here?
Well, step 1 is these bushings have to go through here.
I notice it doesn't slide in there very easily.
It doesn't, that has to fit in there nice and tight. You don't want it to move.
Okay.
Now when these come, they're cut.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a burr on the edges.
Okay, on
so
the
the
inside.
first thing is to get rid of that burr so it's nice and smooth.
Okay.
So when it's driving on the shaft in there, there's no wearing down.
Yeah, okay.
The smoother it is, the better it is.
Yeah. So this is the deburring tool.
This is a deburring tool, and in this edge, we're just going to put it in there and slide it around.
Do you need to push on that brass or anything like that?
Very lightly.
Okay.
It's just shaving that burr off, making it nice, smooth in there.
Okay.
And you can look at it, but you can feel it better. if your finger's in there, it's nice and smooth.
Okay.
And same with this edge, we'll do the same thing here.
Okay.
Just take that burr out of the end,
Yeah.
and it's nice and smooth. Now, just to make it polished, we'll use a little bit of fine sandpaper.
Okay.
And put it in here, and just
So
take anything off so it's nice and smooth, and we won't get anything wearing.
And the reason why is we're going to have a giant pin sliding through this bushing, and we don't want to have any kind of hang-ups on there, so we're just trying to smooth it out best as possible, so when we give it some light grease, we don't have any resistance.
That's exactly, we want nice smooth, so there's nothing going to catch and start to wear. So I've done that already. I cleaned that burr out and polished it up, but that has to fit in there, and that's really, really tight.
So should we grind down the outside a bit to make it smaller with some sandpaper, or do you want to try it?
If we just force that in there,
Yeah.
it's going to be permanent.
Right.
But that's what we want.
Right. Did you ask its permission before you forced it in there?
No.
Okay, you know this is a thing these days, right?
Well-
You need permission before you force anything in there.
I got a big enough hammer, it won't complain. So let's take this over to our vise here, which we don't want to scratch up with a nice paint job.
Yeah.
So we'll put it down on the mat, and we're just gonna tap this in. That's it.
That's it.
It's in nice and smooth to both sides.
Okay.
We didn't damage it with the hammer because we have a nice flat hammer, and it's not a sharp part that's
Yeah.
gonna do any,
ARMORTEK's going to be upset we didn't put any Loctite in there.
that's not gonna move.
That's not going to move.
That's
Yeah.
in there tight.
With that paint on there as well, that is not going to have any wear issue in there.
That won't move.
Okay, so this one we're having a different experience, where this one actually is the only one that just slid right in. So then on this one I'm going to use some Loctite, because like you were saying, we want to have this bushing not moving at all, because if this is rolling on the inside of this, it's going to cause damage to this piece. And so if we don't have this actually moving and it's quite solid, then when the pin is moving in there, it's not causing an issue to this outside, and we could always replace this if it wore out, correct?
Correct. Same, or they're different pairs?
They are different. You'll notice one has, these two are the same, because you can tell by the nipples that come out on them, but those ones over there aren't. So, yeah, there's one in each.
One has the extension,
Yeah.
and one is,
Exactly. So same on this side. Here has one, the extension. I don't even know if I have this right, because the image is a little hard to tell about the raised piece. If we go to the next page, you can see here's the raised piece.
yes.
And then one right beside it. So I'm pretty sure I nailed it. Okay, so while Dad's figuring that out in the background, I want to show you guys something. You see all these holes around the outside and in this end cap as well. These holes are almost like what I would call costume studs, right? They're supposed to be the lugs that are on there. And where in fact did I put that bag of studs? So these are actually supposed to be glued in place and then ground off. They're not actually screws. Just have a look at it here. So I'm going to actually do this during my finishing process when I'm actually doing the paint. Now I want to leave these brushed aluminum wheels as long as I can. I'll go back in and do it. And I've had a lot of people actually give me heck on I'm not doing the exact colors of the elephant tank of World War II Germany. Dad, what do you feel about that? Should I be doing the paint of what everybody says, or what?
I don't think so. Sometimes you have to change things up just to be different.
Yeah, well, that's what we've done over the last 10 years, eh? We haven't always just
Absolutely.
done what everybody else did. We did it to suit what we liked as well. But I loved the brushed aluminum look of it, eh?
It looks so nice.
It does. I also love the look of the cannon, and I know that anytime I can go in and do the weathering and finish it, but I can never go, take time. Yeah, I can never take it off. So I really kind of want to appreciate it for what it is right
That's
now.
one of those things, if you want to make it look original, exactly what it looked like when it was made,
Yeah.
you can do that after.
Yeah, and just get the machine together to appreciate it for what it is now.
Exactly.
You know.
The engineering and the work that's gone into making all these pieces,
Yeah.
figuring out how to make it fit together.
Okay, essentially these are the pieces that we're going to need. Of course, the two roller wheels, the rocker arm at the top, the arm on the bottom, that's going to be for the spring perch, the actual spring itself, the top main rocker pin is what I'm going to call that, the bump stop for the bottom, and of course the last two pins. The last two pins, one here is for this one right behind here. Right, it goes straight through. You can't see it properly right now, but you will as we assemble it. and of course the other pin through here, and then the giant rocker arm. This is the one that's going to come through and actually attach to the hull of the tank, and that'll be the actual pivot point for it.
Okay, so let's have a look here. This wheel here is going to be on this part here.
See, I secretly put this together before Dad got here, right? I made it look easy.
This one goes in there.
Oh yeah, these important parts too, Dad. I didn't want to mess you up there. The bearings are almost essential. They should be in the pile of stuff that you need. I'm trying to sabotage you best I can.
You've always made things difficult.
That's my job.
You're good at it.
I think every dad would agree with you about their sons.
Every one of them.
Everyone. I got you some greasy udder butter, Dad.
Udder butter.
It's Cal RC's RC waterproof grease. I use this stuff on everything. Smooth as possible before we apply that grease.
We'll make it with this fine sandpaper. It'll just make sure that's nice and smooth. And
what were you saying the sandpaper was called for plumbers? It's a tape of some sort?
it's a roll of sandcloth,
Sandcloth, that's right. Okay.
which is great when it's new, but it's pretty rough. But after it gets worn out,
Yeah.
and it's good for polishing,
Makes it nice and shiny.
nice and smooth.
Yeah, good. I like how the shop light is giving you a halo effect above your head, Dad.
Well, that might be from that. Might be from other things. Could be just a natural occurrence.
There you go, yeah. The rocker.
So before that pin goes in there,
Yeah.
we need to have a spring sitting there.
That's right.
And wasn't there another piece that goes on there?
Nope.
No, just a spring.
Yeah.
Well, that fits in there.
They do want us to Loctite these in place though, which are easy to remove if we need to later, but still, I guess, inside and out, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the other side.
And that needs a Loctite.
It does, yeah.
If that's the case, then we'll Loctite it right now.
Good idea. Red Loctite. Red Loctite. Dad. So Dad's been building his one here, and I was able to assemble 4. But he's still perfecting his.
See, I just had to watch what you were doing and make sure you did it right.
Right. Well, that's what
why I couldn't do mine at the same time.
makes a good supervisor, right?
That's my job.
Right. There's the pivot caps. I've not painted these yet, but I can just polish this up nice and easy. This end cap is the one that's still up here, or the pivot cap, I should say. These are going to go on the outside like this, which is going to really kind of help. We're going to have a countersunk screw right in the flat top right there.
There's
Yes, that's right. So what you're going to need is a small spacer and a screw. So it's almost like a countersunk spacer, Dad. Let's see, it's these ones right here.
yes.
The end cap. Let's slide one of these end caps out. I just cut the edge of the bag so I didn't have parts rolling all over the table.
Yes, and take one out at a time
Yeah, exactly.
instead of having 12 of them
It
falling
is-
off the top table.
I thought I had this many, and you got 4 stuck to your shoe. So now it's making space for the end cap to be threaded on. And there's your end cap
Oh.
there. Yeah.
Should we be Loctiting this screw?
We could, but because this comes with a end cap, I'm not going to worry about that just yet, because even if it fell out, it would still be stuck in there. I think it's going to push against the end of the end cap. It wouldn't be an issue. Okay, Dad, it's story time.
Story?
Yeah, so you're my stepdad. You've known me since I was 6 years old, yeah?
Yes.
And so here I am, a few years later, and you and I have spent a lot of time having fun over the years.
Yes.
Can you tell me a time that I may not remember, or I do remember, but the audience doesn't know about, where we had fun with RC?
No.
Okay,
I
thanks
don't know of any occasions
thanks
like
for stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by.
I remember when I first was in the local store.
Yeah.
And I noticed they had this little RC car.
Yeah.
I believe it was
A Tyco
New
or
Bright.
Nico? Okay.
New Bright, but it was cheap.
Yeah.
And I had to get you something for a Christmas present.
Oh my.
So I bought that.
Yeah.
And the fun you had with that paid for itself 100 times.
I think I was 8. Maybe around that age, 8.
About 8, yes.
Yeah.
8 would be right.
Yeah.
But I remember your disappointment when it broke.
Yes.
And we took it in the shop.
A New Bright broke? Shocking.
And we took it in the shop and we fixed it.
Yes.
That changed everything for you.
It sure did.
Because then you like to fix them more than you did play with them.
Fun. Yeah, I love it. Thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Now we know where it all started. Everybody always asks me, what was your first one? I thought it was a Nico, but if Dad says it was a New Bright, it was a New Bright. And here, now I get to go full circle with my son where he's in here and we're fixing RCs together. So it's a neat experience, this hobby of radio control.
It is. It's a great hobby. Teaches you a lot of patience.
Yeah, exactly. And reward. Patience and reward.
Yes.
So here's what I'm looking at on the bump stop. This gap right here, they actually want this to be flush right with the top. And instead of drilling more into it, I'm just going to go ahead and take my Dremel cutting bit and cut that screw off a little bit. Hey, explain that to me because you just figured out something really important.
Okay, the thread
Yeah.
doesn't go right tight to here because they can't get the cutter.
So the thread didn't go all the way to the top.
So the thread is leaving that little space right there.
So even if,
about 1/8 of an inch,
okay,
where the dies can't get all the way up to the edge, so it's not cutting it.
yeah,
So what they're talking about,
is not cutting the screw because it's not threading in all the way.
even if we cut the screw, it's still gonna bump up against the
I'm
end
so
there.
glad you figured that out.
So we take a drill
Yeah.
and we
Holy shit.
countersink just 1/8 of an inch in there.
We needed to do that before we assembled everything.
We just figured it out. But we're smart, we know now.
Yeah, if we can do it quick.
But if we drill that out just a little bit,
Yeah,
then when it screws in, there will be nothing bumping into
it'll be
that thread.
flush. Yeah, okay.
Maybe we should put this in the vise.
Yeah, well, like you said, as soon as we start to cut, we're gonna stop,
Yes.
you know,
But we gotta
so,
make it look like we know what we're doing, so if we use the proper tools,
yeah,
put this in the vise.
yeah.
Then
Didn't you say a job worth doing is a job worth doing well?
doing it right.
Doing it right, so let's do it right.
Do it right.
So before I took all of these apart again, I said to him, why can't we just leave it sticking out, you know, like that 1/8 of an inch? And Dad quickly pointed out to me that as it gets bumped and rocked under this rocker, it would actually cause a lot of stress on the threads, both on the inside and out, right? That's why they want to have it flush against there, so there is no extra stress on the screw thread. So that makes a lot of sense. Dad, are you gonna finish your bogies? I've done like all of them. There's one left here for you.
And exercising my constitutional option.
You've been dawdling.
I'm having a smoke break. Want me to call the union and report you?
There's no union here. This is
Will be.
all work, no breaks.
I just voted, 100%.
You have 100% voting shares here. That's what's going on. You're right. So there's 2 left. I did put the pins in for you as well as greased it up, so I'll finish that one. Here's the one idler wheel. What, are we missing one idler wheel? Way down on the end here. Final polish.
Just clean excess grease off.
Yeah, need to put the caps on all of them.
You have to clean the grease off, the cap won't slide out.
Yeah, exactly. I'd hate to be rolling down the road and having one of these caps pop off because you'll never find it in dirt. Heck, you probably wouldn't even see it when it first rolled off. So this was your final step right here. We just kind of launched over that, but this was the top pin, or the rocker, I'd say. That'll be the pivot point for this entire bogie right here, and that front plate.
There's a lot of pieces to put in there.
Yeah, I did a lot of work.
You did,
You did.
and I made sure you did it right too.
That's right. Hey, that's pretty amazing. That is a lot of aluminum. I think we did it.
That is pretty impressive.
It is.
We got it. That's gonna work.
The track came together. We're not 100% certain. It's not mounted up. The hull is just sitting on the table, okay? So obviously the tank is going to be much higher. But here we are. We got the bogies in, the idler wheels, the drive wheels, the cogs themselves. I know I'm like not getting the right terms here for you guys, but you guys know what we're talking about. That's an amazing track setup, Dad. All of that is cast aluminum. Really, really neat. So we did it.
We did it.
Yep, good job. Thanks a lot.
Right on. That's an amazing piece of machinery you put together.
All he had to do was drive a whole province to come over to help me do some suspension work.
Now I can drive back through another blizzard.
That's what dads do, hey? Hopefully we get one more of these episodes with you here while you're visiting.
We got to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. So we got more coming, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Guys, leave some noise in the comment section for my dad coming in, and we'll see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Now get outside, have some fun with RC. You know we always do. Bye.